guys, this is Allison, and today I'm going to be doing my reaction for The 100, Season 3, Episode 10. So let's get started. So basically, I'm still not over the mid-season finale, which was devastating, but I feel like with this episode, it was really good because we got to know more about the plot and further along the plot lines, and it was really interesting. So basically, let's hit upon the three main storylines. So we have the Allie storyline. This storyline, at first, I was like, I don't know if I'm really going to like this, but I really enjoy the storyline. So basically what happens is, we know Raven's trying to fight back against Allie, getting the memory chip out of her head and fighting back against her. And so basically Allie is kind of confused. She goes to Jaha and says, I don't understand why, why would no one want this, chip? Like, why is Raven fighting back? And Jaha's like, well, if you give her back all of her physical pain, then she won't be a problem. And so Allie's like, okay. And so she basically gives back all of Raven's physical pain. So everything that she's been not experiencing, I don't know how long Raven's been on this chip, but it all comes flooding back. All the painful memories, losing Finn, her back surgery, being tortured in that weather, the pain of her leg, like getting shot, like everything has come back. And she's struggling. So she goes to Abby and she says, I need your help to get this thing out of my head. And so Raven kind of devises a plan to get the wristbands. So we see that. So then what happens, which I thought was crazy, Lindsay Morgan is just so talented. Like, the whole cast is, but she really shined this episode, and I'm so happy she finally got some screen time. So basically what happens is Allie is like, hey, if you let me have full control over your body, I'm going to take away your pain. And Raven at this point is like in agony, in pain. Like, she's like, do it. I don't care. Just do it. And so basically Allie takes over Raven and basically impersonates her. And what was so spot on was how Lindsay Morgan was able just to basically slip into the Allie mindset. Like, her mannerisms are like Allie. Like, the way she talks is like Allie. And so basically she becomes Allie. And, of course, Abby's like, what's going on? And Raven's like, oh, everything's fine. And talks in like a robotic Allie voice. And Jasper's like, well, I'm going to go get the wristbands now that Allie's taken over Raven's body and mind and her emotions. And it was just, that storyline is just insane. I cannot wait to see where that goes. And yeah, it's just insane. And basically, now we're going to switch to Abby. So Abby was like, there's no way I'm taking this chip. And I was like, please don't take the chip. Like, because then you're going to forget about your memories, and not be yourself. And so I was like, what's going to happen so where she's going to be forced to take this chip? And basically what happens, which I thought was so sad, was Jaha basically forces Raven, or now it's Allie, to cut basically like her wrists, pretty much, bleed out. And Abby's like, I can save her, like, don't do this to her, like, she's gonna die. And I was like, I don't want Raven to die, like, ah. And so basically what happens is Abby is forced to take the chip so she can save Raven, which was very smart of Jaha, but just horrible all the same. Yeah, just horrible all the same. So basically, now we have the whole Pike storyline. So I feel like it was really smart for Bellamy to kind of side with Pike, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take you where the rest of the prisoners are. And he basically turns on Octavia, turns on everybody again. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, like, Bellamy, come on. And then whenever he leads them to the actual, like, I guess the line, the boundary line, he's like, oh, like, Grounders, here's Pike, like, they're all yours. I was like, yes, like, finally Bellamy is back, and he's totally betrayed Pike, which I've been waiting for so long. And I just thought that was an awesome scene. Like, Bellamy's back. Like, once a Blake, always a Blake. And I just loved that scene. I really just hated the Bellamy-Octavia fight. Like, I didn't really watch it at all. I saw Octavia throw the first punch, and I was like, this is sad and depressing. But I understand it's realistic. Like, if someone killed the love of your life and you were responsible, you're obviously going to be upset. So Octavia does have a right to be upset. It makes sense. And, so yeah, and I felt like Bellamy just feels so worthless, and he feels so guilty and responsible for Lincoln's death. He's like, Kane, like, don't intervene. Like, this is this is on me. And yeah, that was a really hard scene to watch. I just don't know. I feel like I don't know, like, I kind of want them to be forgiven because that's just what you do. Like, you forgive other people, but I don't know how that's going to work out just because Octavia is so devastated, so crushed. Bellamy is responsible. He feels horrible for what happened. And so I don't know how that's going to work. Like, I love Octavia being a bad A and just being awesome, her awesome self. And whenever, you know, Bellamy turns on them and, like, takes away her sword, I was like, no, give that back. Like, Lincoln gave that to her. Like, that was just, it was sad. So I'm glad she got it back, and I'm glad that situation worked out. I'm interested to see, now the third storyline is the whole Antari storyline. So Antari is crazy, but I kind of like her in a sense. Like, she is... I want to see more about her. Like, she is someone who is, you know, taken from her family at birth. So maybe her and Rowan aren't siblings. I don't know. But she was taken from her family at birth, and she was just telling Murphy, you know, all my life I've been raised to be the next commander. Like, I deserve to be the next commander. I suffered from the cruelty of the Ice Queen and from the Ice Nation. And so I understand how it's kind of like killing innocent children. It's crazy to us, but in her mind, all she's doing is just trying to survive. And so that's why she's justifying that. I'm not saying that's normal or acceptable at all, but I can try to understand Antari's reasoning. The one thing that I like how Murphy was trying to help her, you know, be the flame keeper and to keep the other people at bay from, I guess, delaying the process. You know, she's like, oh, I need to do this and this and this. And Murphy's like, I'm here to help you. And so I'm not a Murphy fan, but I kind of liked Murphy in this episode. He was just trying just to help out and just to try to make things better. And yes, he's in it for himself, but everybody is. Like, everybody is selfish because we're selfish human beings. What I didn't like was the very last scene. Basically, Antari basically rapes Murphy, and I just do not like that at all. Like, that was just heartbreaking. Like, and you know how Antari's like, oh, like, you should be proud you're, like, gonna have sex with, like, the new commander, and Murphy's like, no, sorry, I already have someone. And then, he's basically, like, chained up, and he's raped. And that's just, like, really heartbreaking. Like, nobody deserves that. Nobody does. And I felt really bad for Murphy because all he wants to do is just get home, you know, alive, and yet he's taken advantage of again. And that was just horrible. And it was just sad. Like, and I understand, you know, trying to push the envelope, and nothing really shocks me anymore, which is sad with this show, but I just felt like that didn't need to be included. It just didn't need to be included. Okay, so my last thing that I really enjoyed was, I'm glad Monty's back, and it was heartbreaking that his own mom, like, turns him in. Like, who does that? But I also kind of see, like, she doesn't agree with her son, so she's like, I turned you in, but you have to leave now. And it was just sad, like, his own mom, which, it doesn't surprise me at all, but it was just, that whole situation was just sad. And I like how Bellamy is like, well, we're each other's family, which I thought was sweet. Like, and I'm not saying, like, Bellamy's been redeemed at all. Like, I feel like he has a long way to go to be redeemed. But Bellamy is still one of my favorite characters. I still will support Bellamy. I feel like he feels responsible. And I feel like that was a really key line whenever Kane said, you know, are you doing this for yourself or for Octavia? And because you know what he did was wrong. And he doesn't respond. And I feel like that's a really key moment that we're going to have to figure out. We know that Bellamy is the key. And just to figure out, like, is he going to, you know, change his ways? Like, how is he going to make amends with his family, with Octavia, with his friends, with Kane? Like, how is that going to work out? Also, what about I loved the last scene of this show. Whenever Jasper, like, saves Raven, I was like, yes, he finally has purpose. Jasper, I feel like, just hasn't had a lot of things to do. And so giving him purpose, you know, him saving Raven, I was like, come on. Like, it was just so smart of him to get her into the truck, drive away from Arcadia and from the whole zombie alley people who are underneath Allie's thumb. And then he stops because Clark's there. And I'm like, yes, Clark's back. And Clark's like, where's Luna? I have to talk to her. Talk to him about Luna. And Jasper's like, she's dead. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, shut up. And it was just kind of comical because it's very intense. They're trying to escape. And then Clark's like, oh, what's going on? Which is admirable because she doesn't know what's going on. She's been away in Polis. And then, you know, Jasper's like, get in the truck. I just thought that was funny. And how they just were able to save Raven by getting her away from Arcadia. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to save her. Basically based off of the promo, Bellamy and Clark reunited, which is awesome. I'm so excited they're reunited. Like, yes. I really hope Raven is able to be saved and able to basically get free of Allie's grip. That would be awesome. I love Raven, and I'm just excited to see the delinquents working together. I'm excited just to see them working together, and Philomene Clark's dynamic, them working together really well, so I'm excited to see them back again. This episode was just really good. It was really hard and really triggering, but it was a really good episode. I feel like it furthered along the story, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.